Welcome to episode 64 of the Beyond Social Media show. It is September 20, 2014. We are recording live. You can, of course, watch this after the fact if you prefer. I am David Erickson, your co-host. You can find me at @Erickson on Twitter. My blog is e-strategyblog.com, and I am with, of course, my co-host, BL Ochman. BL you can find at What's Next on Twitter. Her blog is what'snextblog.com. She is the CEO of maximum-plus.com for all things Google+. And, of course, you write for Ad Age as well, and we cover every week. We cover the best and the worst of online communications. We talk about some shiny new stuff, and we wrap it up with some stats that you want to know. But, of course, we start every week with the worst. And, BL, you have the honors, as usual. What bad happened last week?
Hi, Dave. Well, one of the things that happened last week that just really is laughable is that Pinterest accidentally congratulated a lot of single women on getting married. Awkward, though, because most of the women who received these congratulations from the Manic Pixie Dreams startup that congratulated them, most of them didn't even have significant others. And so they tweeted back things like, wedding invites, when? Today, right here. Okay, so the tweets came back, gee, Pinterest, thanks, I'm getting married. Nope, I'm just single and pathetic. And another one that said, no, I'm not getting married, but thanks for the reminder that I am still single. So, you know, go explain that one. I can't. And they did it to a lot of women, not just one or two. They did it to a lot.
Wow! Now you're not just getting pressure from your friends and your family to get out in the dating scene. Pinterest is pushing. How could that possibly happen? They must have been in some database as marked, you know, as getting married or whatever. I can't imagine how that happened, but bizarre.
I don't know. Maybe you know, who knows? Who really can tell a thing like that? But the other thing that happened was, you know, nobody can ever forget the GoDaddy ad with the nerdy guy kissing the beautiful. Ugh, that was gross. Well, so GoDaddy says they got a brand new agency and a new marketing campaign, and they're now aiming at really small, you know, small and really small businesses, and especially because there's 8.6 million women-owned businesses in the U.S., their CMO says sexy ads are no longer an option. Unfortunately, though, the first ad could only be described as horrifying, and you have to watch it for yourself. I'm not even going to tell you about it. I mean, it's horrifying. I mean, it's so the opposite of sexy that it doesn't really solve a problem. But I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. We are using Comment Tracker. You can leave comments on Twitter with the hashtag BSMediaShow, and just leave them on the event page on Google+. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there, and we will do our best to pick up on your comments at an appropriate time when we can take a break to do that. So, okay, Dave, what have you got in the bad news department?
Yeah, well, on the GoDaddy thing, it's leaving me a little wanting because I haven't seen the ad yet. I haven't looked at the ad yet, but old habits die hard. With GoDaddy was sort of there was strategic intent behind their previous ads because I'm sure they're targeting IT professionals. If you look at a lot of the IT ads, they use those tactics. But now, you know, the internet's getting easier to start your own blog. It's getting easier to build your own website. Lots more people are buying domains. They've got to adjust their strategy to account for women and people who weren't, you know. they're
still not there yet. I can tell you that. They're not there yet.
No. So this is a topic that I don't really want to talk about. We did broach it last week when we talked about the Ray Rice incident with the NFL and their botched handling of the Ray Rice incident. And you mentioned at the outset that story had broken just that day, that the Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson had been indicted for child endangerment. Now, this is a topic that we could spend every day next week discussing in depth. I don't think it's a open and shut case like the Ray Rice one punching his girlfriend in the face. because there's regional differences, there's cultural differences, there's 19 states, you know, it's illegal for corporal punishment in schools to use it. So there's a lot of different things here, but it does appear that Adrian Peterson went too far in punishing his own son. He gave him a whooping, quote unquote, using a switch, which is a flexible tree branch, and left marks and left injuries on his 4-year-old son's body. And so, you know, I understand all the differences. There's people will differ as to whether this is parental discipline or abuse. I tend to think he went too far. I think it's abuse. I don't think there was intent to hurt him. I think he was brought up that way in the South and everything, and that's what he learned. But nevertheless, it's a 4-year-old kid, and he was injured. The Vikings didn't appear to know about this until the story broke. So they were reacting to it, and their instincts initially were sound. They deactivated Adrian Peterson, so he didn't play for the Vikings in their last game. The Vikings got hammered by the New England Patriots as a result, probably. But then they came out and they said that he will be activated for the next game. He's going to play with the team. He's going to play until his, you know, they're going to support him as he goes through the legal process. And they basically said we need to let the legal process play itself out. Under withering criticism, finally, after they announced that, sponsors started pulling out from Adrian Peterson. Sponsors started pulling out from the Vikings. The Radisson withdrew their sponsorship. They had the Radisson logo behind the team logo when they do their press conferences. The Children's Hospital canceled the visit with the Vikings. They had all kinds of the Anheuser-Busch came out and sent a strongly worded message to the NFL to get your house in order, basically. So when you start having all that happen, the Vikings abruptly turned course and deactivated Peterson until he gets his legal proceedings done, and that's probably through that. He's still going to be paid. He's not going to play for the team. But oh my God, could you have misread the situation worse?
Well, you know, the problem is that the only way you can talk about a sport that's all about money is with money. And so if sponsors don't withdraw, you know, strongly worded statements don't mean a damn thing. And yesterday Goodell gave a press conference in which he waffled. He didn't actually apologize. He didn't actually take any action. He didn't actually announce any changes. What he said was they were going to have a committee, and the committee was going to come up with some new rules of conduct by February. Hello, this is September. That's 5 months from now. It's going to take you 5 months to figure out what your new code of conduct is? Come on. This is getting, you know, this is out of control. This is disgusting. And you know, let's add to that the brain injury part of it. And, I mean, this is all about money. And it's getting uglier every day. There's another Rice video. They claim they haven't seen that. Well, how come everybody else has seen it? You know, they haven't seen any evidence. They don't see evidence until it appears in the media. I'm really done with the NFL. They blew it.
Yeah, you know, BL, how much I love the game of football and how much I adore it, playing it and watching it. But the reaction, the league's reaction and handling of these cases, the fans' reaction in many ways, being blindly supportive of
cheering. Oh my God!
It has really sort of disgusted me. And you know, I have a Vikings blog. I talk about the Vikings online with a bunch of people every Sunday. I don't know that I really want to do that anymore. So.
Well, you know, Dave, I kind of hope you don't.
So let's get on to less worse news.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think we both have something to say about GoPro. So why don't you go ahead?
Well, okay. This is I in the happy news thing. I bought a GoPro camera not long ago, and I haven't done anything extreme with it. But I have played around with it, and they're fantastic. So I don't know. Here we go. So I have a headset, a GoPro headset that you basically, it's that little cube. That's the GoPro camera. It's encased in the headset thing, and let's record it. So now it's recording.
I love this.
You can actually dive underwater, and so it's because it's encased in this water resistant canister. You can take it underwater, and you've seen plenty of GoPro videos, I'm sure, with people diving and everything. I haven't done that yet. I've done it playing football, so I've got some videos. Share the clips online of me.
Dave, did the camera get a concussion, or what happened?
So yeah, no. If you can see, I've got a bruise on my eye. I got a concussion from playing football last Sunday. So I got to rethink that maybe. But I took a scooter tour. So I took one of the scooters on our office, and when I first got the GoPro, I had to record something, obviously. So I took a scooter ride around our office and had the GoPro, so you can see that. I also brought it to a Twins game, so you can get sort of the ambiance of Target Field from my point of view. For a Twins game, but they're awesome. I'm going to use them for a lot of different things, I'm sure. But cool. So there's that.
I love that. Well, what I want to tell you about GoPro is that there's a mount now for your dog, and you can put the GoPro on your dog. And I put some pictures on the event page. You can mount it in two places. You mount it on the dog's chest and on the dog's head, and like yours, you can go underwater with it, and it has that case on it so that mud and dirt and whatever they roll in doesn't get on it. And the whole idea is, see the world from your dog's point of view. And I just walk around with my camera, at my dog's point of view, and you see a lot of knees. I mean, that's largely what you see. But the strap for dogs is $60, and I don't know, you could tell us what the GoPro camera costs, but they suggest you put two of them on your dog. And, honestly, I'd kind of love to have that on my dog.
That's funny. So the camera I bought is around $300, but I think they make way more money on those accessories. And by the way, that's one of the things I was trying to figure out is how do I put it on my girlfriend's dog? So you've just solved my problem. All I need to do is buy a $60 accessory to mount it on the dog. So that'll be fun. I'll do that.
There's a link in the playlist for where you can buy it.
Very good. Yeah, that company is going gangbusters. Oh my God, they figured it out. And the camera's interesting. It's not the best camera in the world, but it does what it says it does. So very cool.
It's just so much fun, it's just you can take it anywhere, you can do anything with it, and there's nothing that you can think of that it can't do. And their marketing is so phenomenal. Really?
Well, they've got their content marketing is all done by us, by people who have GoPros. So
I'm not so sure that the one where the camera fell out of the plane and landed in the pig pen. I'm not sure that wasn't.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot there. There's definitely a lot of video that is created by their customers. Looks like BL got dropped off from the call, so I'm just going to continue with my next story, which has to do with cameras, of course. And this is a story by a reporter for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. The reporter's name is Labor Janney, and he wrote a story on the Minneapolis Police Department is testing body cameras for its police force. So there are.
I'm back.
All right, BL. I'm going into my police camera story while you were disconnected. So good to have you back. But I was just saying that the Minneapolis Police Department is testing body cameras on its police force for a pilot program. They've got 2 different camera systems. They'll be assigned to 36 officers around the city for 6 to 9 months during this pilot period. One camera is attached to an officer's sunglasses, glasses, or headband, so it's sort of like Google Glass. It's off to the side, and it gets their point of view, and it will be always on. So it will always be constantly recording footage, streaming it to remote data storage where it can be accessed by anyone with clearance at any time, right? So then there's another one that's a chest-mounted or shoulder-mounted model that clips to the front of their uniforms, and it can be turned on and off by an officer. So that system is cheaper to manage. You don't have as many storage issues, of course, because you're not streaming everything to remote storage. But it also gives the officer more discretion to turn it on or off. So that has pluses and minuses. You don't have as much stuff to go through, so logistically it's a lot easier to handle, and you don't have as much footage. But also, because if the officer doesn't want something to be seen, he can turn it off, and that won't be seen, right? Given all the incidents we've had, most particularly Ferguson, Missouri, I think more transparency is better. Privacy may be dead, but there are important privacy implications with this. Domestic abuse situations where recordings could become part of the public record. Those are things that are serious issues that need to be policy-wise figured out. And then, like, witnesses getting spooked by being on camera. So there are reasons to turn it off. The technology is ahead of the law at this point, but on the whole, I think this is a fascinating development. It's probably better than not. BL, we've got a lot of static coming through. I don't know.
What do you mean data? I've lost the comment tracker. When I got kicked out, the comment tracker died, and I can't set it right back up. Are you seeing comments in the stream?
I do not see comments.
Okay, I think we've lost it, so sorry, guys. There's a glitch here in the comment tracker, and I've noticed it over and over again. I don't know what the problem is. We keep trying to get it to work. There were some big developments this week in Google+, one of which is that you no longer, in order to come into the film strip, which is being part of an actual Hangout, you no longer need to have a Google+ account. But you do need to have a Google account, and we've been all trying to figure out what they mean by that. But you can sign up for a Google account, which gives you access to all the Google apps, YouTube and everything, that analytics, Gmail, everything that Google has. You can sign up for Google account without a Gmail address, although I'm not quite sure why you would, and you will then be able to come into a Hangout without a Google Plus account. It makes no sense to me whatsoever, but it's the latest development. But what has been happening is that Google has been adding features on an almost daily basis to the Hangout platform. So clearly they're paying attention to it, they're developing it, and part of the technical issues generally turn out to be that there was an update going on while you were broadcasting. So I think that might have something to do with what happened here a couple of minutes ago. So I do have some other things I wanted to talk about in good news, and one of them was that social media helped a woman find people who were in a wedding photo that was found at Ground Zero on 9/11. And as it turns out, 13 years later, as it turns out, via Twitter and Facebook, it turns out that all the people in that photo are alive. And all of them survived, and it was about a wedding that had happened a couple